Hello there, Leo, and welcome to your February forecast. It's really great to see everyone again. Let's get straight into the channeled information for this month. For those of you that are brand new, the way I get the channeled information is I first select a deck of cards, and then I meditate on your sign. For you, as I was tuning in, the main thing that came to mind, and it might have been perhaps because I was out in the garden earlier, but I was seeing growth, sort of like new seeds germinating or bulbs that were growing. And part of that also is a time marker. With that sort of growth period, we're looking at a 3 to 5 month period. What you want to do is exercise patience, diligence, and passion. These are the things that are going to be the ingredients or the fertilizer to really let your dreams grow. But the other thing with growth is there could be some challenges that are going to present themselves this month. I'd like you to look at them as not something that, you know, it's happening to you, it's happening for your benefit, and you can either rise above the challenges, you can move beyond them, or you can decide to face them head on, but they are there as lessons. So there's going to be some growth opportunities for you, some step-up opportunities that could be exciting, but there is also this period of patience that some of you are going to have to kind of go through. So keeping that in mind, it should be easier for you to maximize your growth potential. Okay, with all of that being said, let's now take a look at the cards. And right before I shuffle these, I just want to mention the format. I start off with a Celtic cross, which I'll be doing in just a second here, and then I include a special expansion to that forecast. I start off with a Catalyst card, which really ties everything together. It's sort of the theme for the month. And then I look at Health, Wealth, Love, and Destiny. Don't worry about remembering all of it. We're going to go through each of those as I pull the cards. At this point, I like to be quiet. I just watch as I pull, and we'll get right back to the reading in just a second here. So let's see what's coming through for you. All right, and as promised, let's take a look now at your Catalyst card. This is the card that wants to come out. Okay, so we have a card here that is, I think, comparable to a Hermit card. But with the Hermit card, there's typically positive connotations, sometimes introspection, spiritual development, or a time when you really want to do some research. With the Cave, there's an escapist sort of vibe to this, as well as a little bit of fear. So I completely embrace the Hermit. We all have parts in our life where we need to sort of do those things that I just mentioned. But when it comes to fear or when it comes to pulling back, this month it's going to be a challenge for some of you to step outside of either a place where you're very comfortable, or to get more out into the public eye, or to maybe even take more accountability. So your challenge this month is to come out of your shell, to own your opportunities, own some of the things that you need to work on. And once you do that, you realize it's actually a bright light right outside of the cave. Things are not as bad as they seem. That's the really the underlying note with this, is that if you get past your fear, then things will progressively get better and better each day. Okay, let's now take a look at the cards themselves. As we look at the center, we have a big transformation card, and it's crossed by love. So for some of you, this is a reversed transformation card. So for me, just like Death card reverse, this reads to me as stagnation. And so when we're stagnating in a relationship, the first thing that you're going to have to do is to, for some of you, come forward and talk to the one that you love and say sort of, this isn't working, or I'm worried about this, or we need to make some changes. So for some of you, it's going to be a discussion from the heart. If you're single, this is a card of potentially wanting to go out and find new love. Or I see love, or the Lover's card, attached to passion in your life. And I was speaking to a previous sign about how you can channel this energy however you'd like. You can spend it on another person, you can spend it on yourself, you can put it into a project. So what's your passion? That would be sort of, if this was a writing prompt this month, I would put this out, and it's a theme that I've seen across many signs this month. What's your passion? You get a chance this month to change direction a little bit, to maybe improve it, to maybe do something different, but that's sort of a central theme right at the center of your spread. As I'm looking at what's bringing you to this decision, we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is a great card, by the way. This is one that comes through when you're ready to either be more independent in your life, to take care of yourself. A lot of times this will come up if you're getting an increase in pay, or if you've got enough money so that you can save ahead for the future and you're starting to sort of reap the benefits of your hard work. It can also simply be a card that shows a growth in self-worth and self-confidence. So this is what could be affecting the change in either your current relationship, or wanting to have a relationship, or wanting independence. So pay attention to that. It's a good thing. You've done a lot of work on yourself, it looks like, or you've accomplished something that's giving you a shift in your energy. Just as a side note to that, what you'll notice sometimes as you go through growths in your own sort of energetic self, people around you have an opportunity to either meet you at the same level, or sometimes they fall away, and that's, I think, what's happening this month. So you'll make a decision based on your own growth if you are happy in the company of the people that you're with. And remember, love can also be friends and family that you care about. So I just see a shift and a little bit of shakeup, and I think for many of you, especially if you overcome whatever fear might be happening, then people may be surprised by the newfound strength, and that could cause positive changes in your life, possibly some toxic relationships falling away and some new people coming in. All right, let's look at the rest of the cards here. As we look at your recent past, what's really affecting the first week of the month here, we have the King of Pentacles. Really great card. Again, I'm seeing almost across the board positive shifts happening with your work and money. So we've got the Nine of Pentacles, then the King of Pentacles, and overhead we have the Six of Pentacles, which is a card that shows that you have more than enough provided that you make good decisions, because this Six of Pentacles was reversed. This can be money and resources. That can be your energy, your time, and again, any sort of tangible money that you're using. So what you want to be sure of this month, because I don't see a lack, I see maybe some decisions that might be spreading you too thin. So if you're overly exhausted this month, this is a time when you need to sort of say no to, a coworker, a boss, a friend, or whoever's trying to pull at your time and energy. Put some limits up, some healthy limits there. If it's money, put off on making large purchases this month, something again that I've seen pretty universally across all signs. And instead, focus on what matters, because when I look at the near future, we have the Ace of Wands, which is a chance for you to come up with new ideas, to share a new project, to try something new in your life. This is also a great card for putting your passion into something, because this is a card of vitality. So I would take advantage of this continued growth that I'm seeing happening with your money, with your career, with your energy, and don't spend it in a way that doesn't make sense. Don't get caught up in other people's drama, in other words. Remember, the theme this month is personal growth and growth across all sectors. So unless it's somehow feeding back into that, I would step aside from other things that are distracting. When I'm looking at your ego, we have the Prince of Swords. It's a very active card, so this is good for communication, good for contract negotiations, good for signing anything, or making a commitment. So I do feel like you're in a good place for that kind of work. And also, don't be afraid in this situation to ask difficult questions. If there's any fear or uncertainty, you definitely want to put that on the table and ask, hey, I need to know more about this before you sign a contract or make a long-term agreement. So this is also a card of, if you need to get a lawyer or a good litigator on your side, this card is supporting that. All right, let's take a look now at your environment card. This is one of my favorite that I've seen here in this deck. It's a card that kind of harkens back to medieval times, or the Arthurian legend, and it's about recognizing something that's of value. So we saw at the center here, the Death card, or in this deck, transformation, crossed by love. So that's a change of heart. This is a change of mind. So you have two moments in this month, and they're separated. The one is at the beginning, this is towards the latter part. So let your heart lead the way, your mind will follow and make sense of it later, and that's really what I'm getting with this. For those of you that decide to take a chance on yourself and try something new, it looks like it's a valuable prospect. There's good intentions and good value associated with it. And since we have the King of Pentacles here towards the beginning of the month, and I'm looking at the end, and we have the Queen, this is showing me that it's about equal. There might be a slight trade-off for those of you that are willing to make a shift, but it could be a good thing. The other thing is, as I'm looking at both the King and Queen of Pentacles, I'll pull the camera down so you can see the positions here. To me, this speaks of For some of you, it can be the partnership, but I'm actually seeing it more as yin and yang energy. And I see the beginning of the month as being a great time to plan, to take some action. The latter part of the month, this is really where you can do more of your dreaming work, where you can get more creative. And for some of you, this is where the artistry comes in, because I see the Queen as a card where you nurture, where you create something that's going to take a while. It's really putting your finishing touches on things. So it also ties back to that growth card, which is saying that some of these things may take a while to finally be ready for everyone to see, to understand. And that's what I think that the Five of Wands is speaking to at the end, is a period of hard work before you see the payoff. And so I mentioned initially that there's at least 3 months that I'm sensing with that channeled information. So we end on a note where you're gonna have to put some hard work in. But if you love what you're doing, or if you are excited about that end result, whatever that end result is for you, whether it's being able to, launch a business, or share an idea, propose to someone, there's something big that's on the horizon, then keep your eye on that. Don't worry so much about the day-to-day. Think to yourself, each day is getting me closer to that goal. It's not like a day that's just spent where you're clocking in and clocking out. You're getting closer to an outcome. So if you keep your mind in that sort of, organized in that sort of way, then I think that you're going to successfully move towards your goals. All right, let's go ahead and expand your forecast. I like to always begin with the health card. For me, health is mind, body, and spirit. So let's take a look and see what the cards want to speak about in that area. As we look at your health card, we have a card here that says surrender. This is a really cool card for spiritual growth. And it's one of the hardest things to do, to just be able to let go and to allow for energy to come in. But if you're trying to figure out how to get more intuitive or to tap into certain energies like Reiki, you have to set up protections, get your own body and your own channel strong, but at a certain point, you allow energy to flow through. So when I'm looking at health, one thing is to be a little bit more at ease with yourself, to allow energy to flow, also to allow your own intellect and ideas to flow without stopping them. So this is a card of growth and of allowing for things to just take their normal course. This is also a card for those of you that are trying to, when I look at it, it does look like a pregnancy card to me as well. So for those of you that are trying to get pregnant or to start your family, this is a card that is saying ease up on the energy of wanting it to happen right now, because that's actually probably pulling it back a bit. So try to just release a little bit, let go, and allow for you to just celebrate the fact that you're trying to create something beautiful. And I mentioned that for some of you this could be the growth that you're looking for as well. You could be trying to grow your family, but this will not happen immediately. Give it a few months. That's what I'm seeing for those of you that are trying to get pregnant. The rest of you, it's just letting go of stress a little bit, trying to get out of your way, your own way, and really working on stress reduction and not overthinking. So this is very cognitive card and an emotional card. Now let's take a look at wealth. For me, wealth includes career, money, work, school, and the feelings that we attach to those areas, because all of those will be kind of conduits towards making money. It can also be an extension, of your self-worth. So for you, we have childlike expression. What this is really saying is try not to take yourself so seriously. When we think of children, younger children, maybe not teenagers and preteens, but when we think of a young kid, they tend to not hold on to things as much as adults do. They go through the emotions, the highs, the lows, sometimes unpredictably, but what's great about a kid is they're in the moment and then they're on to the next thing. We can take a little bit of that. If you think of this in the expression of tarot, it would be the Six of Cups. And so it's a card where you can be playful, you can have fun, you can try to create an environment that feels fun. So if you're a manager or if you own your own company, this is about trying to infuse some sense of play into work. And that's a great thing anyway. You should be enjoying, you should be passionate, you should be having fun while you're doing your job. If you can't, then it becomes very serious and sometimes to a point even a little morose. So this card is saying don't take yourself so seriously, don't take other people too seriously. You of course want to do a good job, but you want to step back a little bit and realize everyone's human. At the end of the day, everyone's trying their best, And if you don't hold grudges and you don't hold on to the emotions, each day becomes a blank slate. So with career and money, what you want to do is try to let certain things roll off your back. And if you need to kind of have a tantrum, try to step outside, let the emotions go out, come back when it's past. It's okay to be in the moment and to have those feelings, but try not to do the tantrum. That's the only thing that we don't want to embrace from the children. But what we do want to embrace is their lack of holding on. I mentioned in another sign, it's interesting that we use the phrase holding on to a grudge, or, you know, getting really, if you're stuck on someone. It's interesting how like emotions can stick. So I want you to kind of view yourself as having this sort of anti-stick. It's like the Teflon or whatever. This is you. Things just kind of move right off of you. So that's what that card is speaking to. With money, it's going to have an effect on people around you so that they see that you're easy to work with, that you can kind of be flexible, okay? So now let's take a look at, we looked at health, wealth, let's look at love and see what's coming through for relationships this month. Let's see. So your love card is look at your pattern in relationships. And so for some of you, you may be wondering, why does this always happen? Why am I always attracted to this type of person? You have a chance this month to stop it, because right at the center, and it's really indicative of the two cards at the center, we have death, or in this, I love that it's called transformation in this deck, and then we have love right on top of it. That speaks exactly to the message here. So what this card is really recommending is that we see that some of the behavior, some of what's going on is from our own internal actions and thoughts and what we're pulling into our life. The rest is understanding or making a decision that I'm ready to move on. So great chance to make change, to shift things. And if you're with someone, this is not about necessarily just leaving them. It could just be, I'm ready to work harder on our relationships, or I need you to work harder, whatever it is. There has to be a shift with your expression and understanding of love this month. Finally, let's take a look at your destiny card. My favorite, I think, every time that I'm pulling, because this allows you the chance to exercise free will. I strongly believe the whole purpose that we do this every month is so that you can feel empowered and you can make a decision if you want to continue on a path. So let's look at this destiny card and see if your GPS is syncing up with where you want to be. If not, you can make the changes that you need to, and it's a sense of empowerment then. So we have a wisdom card here. It says Oracle, and this is a chance for you to look within. And the card's reversed, and so for me, the same as if I were looking at a spread here and I saw the High Priestess reverse. The main message here is don't second guess yourself. If you feel a certain way about a decision that you need to make with your money, with your finances, with your love, whatever it is, I really want you to honor that this month. And if someone's calling into question that, then you need to sort of think about, do they have your best interest at heart? Are they really giving you good criticism? Or is this someone who's trying to push you off path? Trust your intuition, okay? Let's go ahead now and review everything that we talked about, and then we'll wrap this up. As I said at the beginning, your channeled information was growth. I had a time marker of at least 3 months, for some of you even up to 5 or 6. So know that whatever you're trying to bring into fruition, it's going to take some time. Your catalyst card this month was to come out of your shell. I understand that part of this card might be self-protection, but there comes a point where we're no longer protecting ourselves, we're isolating ourselves, and this card is saying that you have help, you have love, there are people that want to help you. Don't be afraid to reach out for that help. As we look at the cards themselves, the center is all about change in your relationship with love, either in how you love others or how you love yourself. I see a lot of great work in the money sector for you. We have 9 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and 6 of Pentacles. You have so much positive energy with this. The main message I have for all resources, whether it's time, money, or just how much effort you're putting into things, it's all about what your priorities are. The 6 is more than enough, provided that you make good decisions. And how do you weight the good decisions? Well, I feel like there's a readiness or an ambition here this month that's coming through in the Ace of Wands, saying it's time now to try something new. So if you give a little less in areas that are distractions, you can put a little bit more into your passion projects. And this is where you could be channeling some of the love. Some of you that really aren't interested in putting more into either your relationships, or you just really want to work harder, you can channel this into your work. What I see here in your ego this month is great time to speak out, to look at documents and basically get things underway. And I think the first 2 or 3 weeks of the month are perfect for that. As we get into the latter part of the month, you probably want to spend a little bit more time thinking about things and allowing for sort of like a marination to happen with your thoughts and ideas. So be more active at the beginning, be more pensive and thoughtful at the latter part of the month. When I'm looking at the environment, like I said, one of my favorite cards, this is a chance to recognize value that you didn't see either in yourself and others or in an opportunity, and to take that leap of faith. You already feel it in your heart, your mind's going to catch up by the middle to end of the month. At the end, we see that card that's saying, yes, you have hard work to do, but remember, you're doing it for a good purpose. We have growth here on the horizon. As we expand the forecast, remember that the most important thing you can do from a mental perspective this month is to let go. We talked about that with the Childlike card, which is next in money, but I'm going to say it here too. It's not to hold on to things. No grudges, no heavy emotions. Again, I mentioned for those of you that might be trying to start a family, patience is also necessary with this card. As we look at your wealth card, we have the Childlike Expression, and I mentioned that it's not the tantrum so much as the fact that they don't hold on to things. It's the playfulness, it's the irreverence, it's the joy that they bring to everything that they do. Do that with your work and great things will follow. When we look at love, look at patterns in your life. Decide to make the changes. That's really what the center is all about. And realize that change starts within your heart. Finally, don't second guess yourself. Simply put, the Oracle card in reverse is, to me, the High Priestess in reverse. You know what to do, so do it, okay? Hopefully this gives you the guidance that you need for the month of February. If you ever have something that's more personal and you'd like to reach out to me, I do offer one-on-one appointments. So if you go to the description area below, you'll see a few links, and the first one is how to book an appointment, and you'll see rates and availability there. I also have a link for donating, so if you like this monthly reading and you just want to give as little as $1, you can do that through either Patreon or my website, and that would be much appreciated. But that's not necessary since I do this as a service each month. The next thing is, if you'd like to stay in touch, there are many ways to do that. One, you could simply subscribe to this channel. I have two options on the channel itself. You can just click subscribe and that little bell icon, which will allow you to get emails when I post new videos. You can also sign up for my newsletter, and I really only send about one per month, so you won't get a ton of spam in your inbox. Also, feel free to join me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'd love to have you there. With all of that being said, I just want to say thank you again for your support, your likes and subscribes, and I want to give some gratitude at the end here. I've been talking a lot about how one person can make a difference. My goal on these monthly videos is to give you a sense of empowerment, to help you raise your frequency, to shine brighter, and collectively, if we do this, think of a 1,000-watt bulb, how much brighter and more beautiful this planet will be. So keep working on yourself so that you can contribute to that goal, and that you can shine even brighter than you think you could. That's my goal here, is at the end of the year you are feeling better about yourself, feeling more empowered, and increasing your intuition. Keep on doing what you're doing, and thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your journey. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.